We are inside the duomo.
Paola, I have to say this is the jewel in the jewel.
Exactly. We are now inside the chapel entirely dedicated to Santa Fina.
Podere la Marronaia, a family story behind a bottle.
Buongiorno Paola, today we are in a religious place, right?
Exactly. We are inside the duomo, la collegiata of San Gimignano, and you want to know that the original entrance was opposite, was the other side. And you can recognize that this was the apse. The apse. That was the end of the church, and now is the entrance instead. And the reason is because they realized there were so many people walking by in the back of the church because the Francigena, the pilgrim route, was crossing the village, so they decided to face the people. And I have now in front of you a beautiful fresco by a Florentine artist, Benozzo Gozzoli, and he didn't only work here. He painted in Santa Agostino Church as well, with beautiful stories of
Which I advise to visit that church.
and this is pure Renaissance, like pure Renaissance style. Is wooden painted statue with Angel Gabriel and the Virgin Mary, the so-called Annunciations. Is a beautiful painted wood statue with a fresco in the back showing you a Florentine brocade textile, which I love it. And everything like this was produced with a handmade loom machine at the time. This is the beautiful Florentine fashion that we're using at that time. And I have an older, in the 14th century, so a century before, they painted the head that you have there, and almost naked people upside down, a desperate expression, opposite to the paradise. And I have paradise described to the side of the angel, and people standing one next to others and praying, crossing fingers that have. But mainly the church is known for a beautiful description of the Old Testament that I have it all around this side of the wall, and New Testament to the other side. So it was one of those ways to teach the people that could not read or write, but they knew the stories from word to mouth. They used to recognize them one by one. Let's start with the creation of the universe that I have on the first lunetta, because it has the shape of a half moon. I have the creation of Adam, which is the second one. The creation of Eve, of course, that I have. And Eve, she's coming out from the rib of Adam. And it's described like two, so you can see there. On this side, among the most famous stories, not only I have the Annunciation, the Nativity, I have the adoration of the three Magi, but I have the Cena, Last Supper. I'd like to show you the Last Supper. They are eating all around the table. So you have there. The youngest among the 12 apostles is Saint John, the blonde hair. And the oldest among them is Saint Peter with the white hair.
Paola, I have to say this is the jewel in the jewel.
Exactly. We are now inside the chapel entirely dedicated to Santa Fina. She was an orphan girl. She died at the age of 14 years old, only, very devoted, very religious. And this is a beautiful fresco painted by Domenico Ghirlandaio, a Florentine artist. And this is the moment that she died. The bishop appears in front of her as a miracle almost. And I have the perspective very nicely described with the view and through the windows, the landscape. I have a little pomegranate. Remember that this is the symbol of passion, exactly. And the other side, I have the funeral of Santa Fina, and I have a personality of the town itself portrait in the back. Remember that at that time 72 towers existed, and it seems there was a miracle moment because after she died an angel arrived and he made all the bells ring, and like a joyful moment. I have Benedetto da Maiano as the architect. He designed with a perfect measurement. There is like a cube, it's a perfect design, typical centrally planned, like during the humanism philosophy. And he's even the artist of the marble altar that you have here in front of you. I have horizontal, all the story of the saint. 4 angels carved holding the candle, cherubs, angels with wings, but what I like the most is the effect of the curtains made of marble and depicted.
They seem real, I have to say, they seem real.
Exactly, with a brocade effect that you have. This is the typical design at the time. I have the 4 evangelists in the ceiling. We recognize with the eagle, with the lion, with the angel, with the bull, Marco, Matteo, Luca, Giovanni. And this is the reason why we have the gates dedicated to one of the 2 as well. Remember that Santa Fina died in a very simple, plain piece of wood.
Yes.
And the original one is there in front of you. And if you happen to come back shortly, very soon on the 12th of March, there's a beautiful celebration because this is the day she died. She died at 12th March. And we have a special mass at the presence of the mayor, of personality of the town. And there's a market, so very nice. It's a beautiful day to spend in San Gimignano, dedicated to Santa.
I will come back for sure. I will visit. Paola, I have to say this is the biggest one.
Exactly. This is the crucifixion, and I have Jesus in the middle. And I have the good and the bad, we say, buono e cattivo, on the right, on the left, that we recognize from their expression, from the color of the hair as well. One is desperate on the right, the other one is accepting what is coming for him in a peaceful way. And look the Magdalene, and look the Virgin Mary, the beginning of the expression, the people's faces that I have described here. And I would like you to pay attention to the lunetta on top because it's a very delicate, very sad moment. This is the slaughter of the innocent when Herod ordering all his soldiers to kill all the boys, all the children under 3 years old. He was told that the new king of Israel was born. He didn't know which one was the baby. So he started to kill even pregnant mother. And I have a story described with many children there on top. I forgot something important to tell you because 12 March not only is the day dedicated to Santa Fina, the day that she died, but it's even the day that the village is surrounded, as well as the countryside, by beautiful yellow violet, which they bloom
Spontaneously.
the day that she died. And you should pay attention and come back.
Yes, I know that they grow on the walls, right?
They were on the walls of the towers, whatever. Usually it's difficult to find them, and that is the miracle of Santa Mina.